Hi, my name's Dylan Mangel, and I'm here with Tamra Jackson-Ziems, and today we're talking about soybean diseases in Nebraska.
So Dylan, what soybean diseases have you seen so far this year?
Yeah, so it's been a slow spring as far as soybean diseases, even in areas where we got early planting, where we had cool soils, or where we had flooding in some areas. The seedling diseases weren't quite as bad as we expected, so not a lot of seedling diseases, but I do think there's an opportunity for Phytophthora still to show up as kind of that most persistent seedling disease. So as you're walking through fields in the next couple weeks, look for plants that are wilting or dried down. Often that's a sign of Phytophthora.
You know, we've had some variable weather and planting dates going on this spring, and the weather's been up and down. We've had some heat, we've had some mild, comfortable temperatures, and some rain, and even a few dry conditions. What do you expect to see in some of those areas after that?
Yeah, so we pay a lot of attention to the weather as pathologists. If it's hot and dry, like we had a period of that here in Nebraska, we don't expect a lot of growth of some of these fungi on these plants. But what happens when we get days like today where it's overcast, it's humid, it's got a little bit of rain, it's wet, we really expect stuff to take off when those things happen. So if those kind of conditions persist, if we see a series of days like that, we could expect to see some sort of foliar pathogens spreading in the state.
You know, in a lot of parts of Nebraska, it surprised people last year during a dry year. They saw a lot more white mold in areas they aren't used to seeing it. What do you expect for white mold this year, and what should producers do about it if they're concerned?
Yeah, so it was dry. We didn't expect white mold to happen, but the rain showed up at the perfect time for that pathogen. We have more moisture this year. I would anticipate in fields where there's a history of white mold that we're going to see more of that, where we will continue to see that. So, you know, identify those fields. If you've had several years of history of it, consider making those foliar applications. Find products that are rated good on white mold, and think about applying when flowers are present. So late R1, early R2 is going to be the optimal timing for that first application.
That's good advice. Are there any other diseases you expect to come up after that? Because there's always a few things later.
Yeah, so after that we'll see some other foliar diseases, potentially frog eye leaf spot in certain parts of the states could take off. And then we really get into the late season where we potentially see some damage from soybean cyst nematode, as well as sudden death syndrome, brown stem rot. Those are going to really show up. And to look for those striking foliar symptoms on the top of the plant.
The stripes between the veins.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So if producers or anyone else wants more information, what are their best resources?
Yeah, so the resources we have available, you can find them on cropprotectionnetwork.org, or you can find it on cropwatch.unl.edu.
Thank you for watching In-Field Observations. Please reach out to us in Nebraska Extension if you have any other questions, or submit samples to the UNL Plant and Pest Diagnostic Clinic.